I know many of you are probably thinking, what about the New Year's resolution? Or is it even worth starting to think about New Year's resolution? Because what is the significance of January 1st anyways? It is essentially a new year, but why do we put so much significance into putting a New Year's resolution together if you're going to let it fall apart in a few weeks anyways? But of course, it's notorious that with a new year, many of us are going to have these big audacious goals or even small goals that will help us improve our quality of life. Now, instead of just thinking about the goal, what are we going to do to act? So today I want to chat about a few essential things that will help get you through the next few weeks, 2 months, if you are considering keeping a New Year's resolution, especially if you are a business owner or an aspiring business owner. What can you do this year to get your business off the ground and start iterating on what your great big business plans will be? So let's get into it. And we've talked about this in the past, but the first thing I believe everyone should do when they are planning a goal, be it a New Year's resolution or a business goal or a health or fitness or lifestyle goal, is you need to think about your North Star or the reason why you would like to put this effort into achieving this goal. Because if you have a North Star or something that will propel you forward when the going gets tough, and it will, then you are less likely to give up. Now, when it comes to a business, you are going to hit obstacles. You are going to hit roadblocks. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. And sometimes you're going to say, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I could be doing this instead of that. And you will either give up on your goal or you will self-doubt and sabotage your goal. So what you really need to do is find that North Star, that really big, deep-rooted meaning for that goal, or that big-rooted reason you are going to put this energy into that goal. And so for me, when I run my Also Sophia business, for example, one of the reasons I have been so aspirational and continue to push that goal forward or that business forward is because I'm doing it partly for my children because they didn't have a few of the items I wish I grew up with. And second, I do it for the community because I know from their responses, either on the online website, from their reviews, or from speaking to people in person, or seeing their reactions when they see the products on the shelves in big retail, it is for the community. They are extremely happy, and that is what keeps me going when the going gets tough. So for the habit or the goal or the achievement you wish to achieve in 2023, think about something external to you, something that will keep you moving when the going gets tough, a reason why you're doing this other than money. Let's face it, I know money is one of the contributing factors for many people in their goal setting ways if it has to do with the business. So forget about the money for a second, because the money will not be what will motivate you when you're working late at night, or if you have a better opportunity that comes that sounds like it could be more financially successful. And the reason why I say that is because you are always going to be presented with other opportunities. And for this goal to stick and work, you're going to have to work at it. And you're going to have to work at it for a significantly longer period of time than you will actually think you will need to work on it, because things take longer than you will think they take when you start. So again, think of your North Star, think of the reason why you would like to achieve this goal, and try to make it something that doesn't have to do with yourself directly, more as an indirect. Of course, if you get the benefits of the goal, say it being your ability to quit smoking is a great one for many people. If you are thinking about yourself and being like, I need to quit smoking because I don't want to die prematurely, I don't want to spend the money on cigarettes, whatever the case may be, sometimes that's not enough. And I know you may be thinking, what are you talking about? It's my health and my goal. Why wouldn't it be enough? Sometimes it's not enough. And what you could reframe it to say, and this may be triggering, but I don't want to die of cancer because I want to be here to see my kids grow up and go to university or college or get their first position or job. So that might be a bit more striking to you and feel a bit more like, that's true. I do want to see this for my children. I want my children to have me present during that time. So I better take care of my health today, so that way I have the ability and the stamina to enjoy that time with them when their time comes. So again, disconnect the frilly parts of your goal, say it be money, and disconnect perhaps, or say indirectly, have it so that your goal doesn't necessarily impact you directly, but those external to you. So in my case, of course, I've done that with the business, saying, sure, there may be some financial reward for the owners of a business, but I'm helping the community achieve products at a reasonable price point so they can now celebrate with their community in a new, innovative way, and allowing children to have the experience that they may not have had otherwise by providing the products for their parents to purchase off the shelf during a seasonal holiday. So that is my best advice for that. That is my tip number one, to really be realistic with your goal and, of course, be able to look for the North Star to help propel you forward when the going gets tough. Another great tip to make sure that you are successful with your goal keeping is you're going to make sure you connect this goal or this habit to something that you are already doing in your regular daily routine. And an amazing goal for me anyways was to try to get a bit more onto social media, because I know that really helps us have that connection with the audience, to be able to relate to the brand, relate to myself as a business owner. And I do struggle with that, as I know many of us, we shy away from getting on social media, or we find it very cumbersome because you have to make sure, some people care about how they look on camera, some really don't. But the point is, you need to make a conscious effort to get on camera and maintain that presence on camera if that's something that you want to do for your business. So that's a goal that you may be sharing, or it may be a goal about your habits in regards to eating healthy or in regards to exercising more. A very popular goal, of course, for people in the new year, trying to get back into the gym and or try to take more walks. One great trick is to understand that if you have a task or if you have a routine already formulated, you could connect that goal, that new goal, to an already in place formulated routine that you might be doing. So I would say a great example is people get back from work or they finish their last meeting. And if you habitually say to yourself, I need to put on my running shoes at this very moment, so that way I will go out for my walk, that will allow you to be prepared for the next step. You're essentially connecting your routine to the newly formed habit, and you're taking that first very small step towards accomplishing that goal. And I love this because the goal could be very, very big. It could be something like, I need to run a 5K marathon. But in order to start that, you need to start by training for this marathon. So if you can tell yourself, I'm going to make sure I get onto the track or I run at least 1 kilometer a day, and that's your goal, you have to break it down even further and make sure your steps are so finite and small that you can achieve it without almost overwhelming yourself with the entire process. So whatever this goal may be for you, you need to understand that you need to break it down to the most smallest tangible step possible and then insert it into your day with another habit or with another part of your schedule. Another really great example for me, coming back to our social media, is I'm very understanding that when we get on camera, we have to do camera makeup, camera lights, camera setup, and that requires a specific time of the day that needs to happen. So it's scheduled in my calendar that this is the time of the day that I need to achieve this particular production. And because I have other people who rely on me to get this footage, I know that they're counting on it to come in at this specific time of day. And that helps me stay even more accountable to my presence on social media. Yes, we have a small team because with everything going on, if I was to do it myself, it would fail. There is no way I could continue moving forward with any of it. So be realistic on what your capacity is, but also set yourself up for success by breaking down your goals into those finite single steps, so that way you can place it into your calendar and tell yourself, yes, I'm going to resist. I'm going to resist going for that run. But I know if my running shoes are sitting next to my bag, and as soon as I'm done my day and I put my laptop away or I get ready to leave the office, I'm going to put on my running shoes now instead. I'm not going to be putting on my flats or my flip-flops or my other shoes or my slippers if you're at home, because I'm putting on my running shoes, and then I'm naturally, oh, my running shoes are on. That's a great excuse now for me to get out the door and do what I need to do to train for the marathon. So again, you need a plan, and you need to be tricky with your plan, because if you can trick yourself either by putting in small reminders throughout the day with the running shoes and or having a team, somebody external to you relying on you to get that task done, then you're more likely to be successful around formulating your goal and executing on it. And I think we all need to be reminded about one big thing that can come up for anybody who is trying to achieve a big goal, or any small goal for that matters. And that is that you are going to trip up and you're going to have days that are not going to be as successful. You are going to not feel well some days. You're going to fall ill some days. You're not going to want to execute some days. Some days you're just going to need a break, and you have to be nice and kind to yourself because you are human. And yes, you are going to need those breaks, and you're going to need to tell yourself, if I happen to miss that run, or I happen to miss a few weeks of content creation, which actually did happen in my case, then you need to be kind to yourself. You have to tell yourself, yes, I can actually get back on track and I can execute this, because there's a number of reasons why I should continue to do this. And it brings you right back to the first thing that we spoke about earlier, which is your North Star. So even when you mess up your projections, you don't think you're going to hit your goals because you didn't actually follow through on the plan you had created for yourself, remind yourself again, why are you doing this? Why did you start? Where are we going? And reset the clock and say, it doesn't even matter that I miss X number of days or X number of weeks. I'm coming back because I have a goal, I have a North Star, and there's a reason why I started. And if you can align yourself to your North Star again, then you're likely going to be able to jump back in with just the same amount of enthusiasm you had when you started the first time. And when that time comes and you do have to reset, remind yourself that this is also part of the plan. That when you progress on a journey towards your goals and your ambitions, there are going to be days when you're not going to be as successful with completing the goal or task at hand. And that is also part of the process and plan. Now, the disclaimer is you cannot use that as an excuse every single time, saying, oh, it was part of the plan that I was going to not go for the run for 10 days of the month because I expected that. No, don't use that as a crutch or an excuse. But what I'm saying is be kind to yourself. You are going to have days when you're not going to feel your best, so you're not going to execute the way you feel you should be executing. But you can always reset the clock, use your North Star, and start again. And especially for our business owners, it will happen. It will happen time and time again. You're going to hit a brick wall and you're going to say, my numbers are not making sense. It's not lining up. It's taking so much longer than I expected. And your plan will feel like it's fizzling out. You do have to bring yourself to that moment of realization that your North Star is why you started in the first place. And again, if money is the reason, it's going to not motivate you for much longer if it is right now. You have to be realistic. Money takes a long time to come into fruition when you are starting a business. You have to be patient. And you have to keep going and you have to reevaluate. And sometimes it comes to the point where you're like, well, I can't afford to do this anymore. And that's the hard call that many small business owners do make. But the point is, if you do have a North Star that's strong and it's not for financial gain specifically, it will keep propelling you forward. And even when you have those moments of setback or you fall off course, you'll be able to jump back in with just the same level of enthusiasm. All right, guys, again, happy 2023. I am super glad you stayed till the end of the video. Remember to hit the bell and subscribe. And you can follow us on Instagram at Boss It Club. Head to our website as well to catch old episodes or check out the channel if you are on the YouTube, because then we have some videos there for you too. And remember, we're here every week, so make a plan and take action. And yes, you can have it all. And we'll catch you again later. Take care. Bye.